today with temperatures in the low 50s and a west wind at 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight, the overnight temperature 30 to 35. 55 to 60 Thursday, mostly sunny, and it'll be in the mid-50s Friday, partly sunny, maybe a few rain showers Friday night. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Catherine Drew. A number of people are injured, with some feared dead, in an attack on the office of the Save the Children charity in the Afghan city of Jalalabad. Local residents are fleeing the area. Twin car bombs have killed dozens of people near a mosque in the Libyan city of Benghazi. And the German government is facing calls to stop arms exports to Turkey after reports that German-made tanks are being used against the Kurdish YPG in Syria.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. Even though it's a little chilly outside, just bundle up and keep it moving. All right, so you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hardin, and my special guests today are Dr. Evette Allen from the Multicultural Center and Non-Traditional Student Services Center. Well, they're kind of one in the building, rather. And then we have Mr. Chris Davis from the Office of Diversity. Good morning. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, so I invited them here because I saw a panel discussion that is coming up on February 1st on the campus of Arkansas State University. But I want to stress this, just because it's at ASU, it is open to the public.
Absolutely.
It starts at 6 p.m. on February 1st in the Student Union. I will make sure to post the information. Actually, I did post it on our Instagram page, so please check that out for the location. But we'll state that again a little bit later. The topic of the panel discussion is, why do we still celebrate Black History Month? I'm sure as you were putting this together, you got some interesting questions and feedback from people who either understood or people who didn't understand. Right. But first, let's get into, how did this come about, topic come about?
Absolutely. So we were kind of in planning phases for different events for Black History Month. So we got to have a committee together this year. And I think the question came up in one of the meetings. Well, there's often conversations about, well, why do we celebrate Black History Month, right? A lot of the students start talking about people asking the question when Black History Month comes up. We do programs, and there's the question, well, why do we even still celebrate Black History Month? And so we said, well, let's take that and let's have a conversation about it, an open dialogue about the reasons why we still celebrate Black History Month, and use it kind of as a learning moment for individuals. And so that's kind of how it just started, from a conversation. Someone had a question about how to move forward with that, and so we said, well, let's have a conversation about it, and the panel started, or we started planning for the panel.
All right, so tell us who is going to be on the panel.
Yes, so we'll have Dr. Sharice Jones-Branch has agreed to be on the panel. Dr. Patricia Walls will be on there. She said she's available. She's going to check her calendar.
Okay.
And we'll have two students, Dominic Williams, who I believe is now a graduate student, and John Mark Horton, who is on student government at A-State.
All right. So, and with Chris here from the Office of Diversity, I'm sure this was a great pairing, because with the Office of Diversity, from my understanding, you all really try to help students find their place.
Right.
And not just for students. I'm sure you work with staff at times as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the Office of Diversity does? Because I don't want to chop it up.
Oh, no, I understand. Once again, my name is Chris Davis, and I serve as the Diversity Program Coordinator at Arkansas State University. What the Office of Diversity does is to promote initiatives, programs for faculty, staff, and students that truly promote the cause of diversity, which is the inclusiveness of all people, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, religious backgrounds, and etc. In terms of Black History Month and other months we help celebrate in terms of Hispanic Heritage Month, LGBTQ Pride Month, and whatnot, our office wants to make sure that we are, let me see the best way to put this, the middleman, almost connecting the Jonesboro community with faculty, staff, and students, and just bridging that gap, and to bring more effectiveness on our campus.
Okay. And so what role will you play in this discussion? Are you going to ask a lot of hard-hitting questions?
Okay. Oh, well, for me, I think the best way I'm going to go about, in terms of this program, I will be in attendance, but I definitely want to be the one, not necessarily on the panel, but at the same time, posing those hard-hitting questions about why there is a problem with Black History Month in the first place, and how the people who normally ask these questions, either don't know or seem to have a problem with exclusiveness of one race in particular, or in terms of whatever that may be. And
no, go ahead.
And once again, African Americans during this time, we're not asking for pay raises or stipends or days off or anything like that. It's just a time for us to go and reflect back on where we have been and the strides we are still making to reach equality and equity in today's society. So when I hear questions like, why do we celebrate Black History Month, for me is, why do we have any Black organizations on campus? Why do we have Black Student Association? Why do we have the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People? It's not because we want to be so set apart from everybody else, because of course these organizations are BSAs on a predominantly white campus. The NAACP operates in the United States, so of course we want to be inclusive at that time. However, there are some issues that only people who are from that certain demographic can understand. For example, I identify as African American male. I can't tell a person of Hispanic or Latino descent how they're going to experience the campus of Arkansas State University.
I understand.
Right. Those spaces are definitely needed.
Okay. We do have a Facebook question. Let's push for a Juneteenth not a question, comment, sorry. Let's push for a Juneteenth celebration after a good full Black History Month. So is that something that is possibly in the works?
That is definitely possible. We have people who reach out to both of our offices from the community. So for example, like the Black, the natural hair forum that happened was from a community member reaching out to a colleague on campus who then got a hold to me, and we just kind of started a brainstorm meeting, and it kind of came from there, right? And so anytime there's comments, suggestions for events like that, we always tell people just let us know the idea so we can see how we can move forward with it. So we've had some things already happening this year just from simple comments. Right. So absolutely, that could very much be possible. We just got to get the conversation going, get the planning meeting going, and we can see what we can do.
All right, so Ms. Helen Scott, go ahead and reach out to Dr. Evette Allen and Mr. Chris Davis and get that ball rolling and see what role you can play to help get these different things going on for the city of Jonesboro. Absolutely. Not just on Arkansas State's campus. It may take place on the campus, but it still benefits the city as a whole. Absolutely. And not just the city of Jonesboro, all the surrounding areas. Individuals from surrounding areas are welcome to attend these different events as well. Okay, so going back to this discussion, we talked a little bit off air about, and then Chris mentioned the idea of inclusivity. We, going back to when HBCUs were first started, a lot of people either don't know their purpose or what they're about, why they were started. I bet some young people, just say that are graduating seniors from high school, they may not understand the scope of what a HBCU is all about. So a lot of them need to be at this panel discussion while we still celebrate. Also, you mentioned, Dr. Allen, about in schools, They're just things that are not taught.
Absolutely.
So kind of expound on that more.
Absolutely. Yeah, what I had said earlier was a lot of times that question of why do we celebrate this, those spaces are needed because until Black history, for example, is implemented into your everyday curriculum, and a lot of times people are like, well, where is White History Month? Well, you get to celebrate that every day, right? The people we're learning about in your history classes, in examples, like think about the books you're reading in classes. Are they all by white authors? Do you have any authors from other races, ethnicities, where people are able to see people and hear from people who look like them? That really has an impact on students' perception of themselves, right? There's research that shows a student who sees people who look like them will start to form that perception that, yes, I can do that, yes, I can be that. Whereas if a student only sees people who are not from their racial background at the top in these leadership positions, then they're like, oh, wow, do I belong there? And so it's very important. Representation is very important for people to see themselves.
Okay. Yeah. And one thing I've seen a few things on Facebook where some children have taken the initiative to start a book club or book, like a mini mobile book, I hate to say store, but collecting books by, say, Black authors or that have stories that are about people that look like them. Absolutely. So it's not that we as a race of people want to exclude ourselves from the world. We just want the world to see who we are and appreciate us for the contributions that have been made thus far.
The included, right? Like the reason why these things exist is because we've been excluded for so long. Our stories are not told, and no one should have their story told by someone else. And so we need these spaces to tell our own stories.
So in the process of not just putting this panel together, but your career on different college campuses and just your interaction with other individuals, Mr. Chris, has on the flip side of that why, like that sarcastic why do we celebrate?
So for me, I would hear either one or two things. One, you would see these people who identify as colorblind, and these are the I don't see color type people. That's great. I didn't know you can just stop that.
Exactly.
Then you have those who say, no one born today was ever a slave, and so why can't we move forward and whatnot like that. And for me, it's like, imagine being in a place in which that privilege exists, that if you don't talk about it or if you ignore it, then it completely it doesn't affect you at all. Minorities can't do that. I'm sorry, I didn't
go ahead.
Preach to you.
Go ahead.
But if we don't talk about it, I can't say, slavery did happen these years ago. I'm still trying to figure out how people can privately own prisons, but let's go ahead and forget about that right now.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead. I can't live my life in a bubble of ignorance, because that's just not how the world operates around me.
And I think, too, people don't think about the impacts. Like, people may say that, this happened so long ago. But if you really think about it, it wasn't that long ago if you think of it generationally. That was only a few generations ago for people. Like, if you think about that, there are people who can point back to 2 to 3 people, like a great-grandparent or something. So that was only a couple of generations ago. And so the impact of it is still there. When you think about a group of people who've been enslaved in years longer than they've, and I use this in quotes, quote unquote, been legally, like free. I use that in quotes because there's other things when you talk about like New Jim Crow and all that. But the impact of that, I think some people, the conversations also need to happen, because what are these impacts of people being held back for so long? We're still trying to catch up. And that's one of the other reasons why we still need to have these conversations about true equity.
Okay. I have seen some comments I mentioned earlier about when the actor Sterling Brown won an award. He was the first Black male in that category to win an award. And there were some comments about why do we still have to say the first Black this or that. I watched another video about female skaters that were competing for a spot on the Olympic U.S. Olympic team coming up for the Winter Olympics, and she was the first Black female to set that record. And there were some other things that I've seen, and there are just some people that still question, why do we have to say the first Black XYZ. Well, and sadly, it just is. That's just what it is. In 2017, we still have people being the first female this, first black that, first.
And that's why we have to say it, because it's like you said, 2017, 2018 now, and you're still just now having your first. No, you say it's just January, so I still say 2017 too. 2017, 2018, and you're just now having your first black whatever. That's why that's important, and the representation I talked about earlier is important for people to be able to see that, because people don't see themselves in those types of leadership positions, and they begin to have those opinions about what they can do in life.
That's right. So the conversation needs to happen. I know it's uncomfortable for some people, black, white, and Hispanic, whatever their ethnicity is, but unfortunately not having the conversation is not benefiting us as well. And then for the generations that are coming, I won't say behind me, but even further behind me, they need to be engaged in these conversations, because at some point in life, they may feel that, I'm just going to take someone that's 21. They may feel at that age, we all get along, everything's cool within our generation. But
they'll have a wake-up call, though.
At some point in their life, they are going to be faced with, you look a certain way, so you're going to be treated accordingly, unfortunately. So they need to, and it's not that we want to instill this anger and hate in them. It's just a matter of, I hope that people walk away from this panel with a sense of pride, a sense of, I don't know, a self-worth. Like, okay, I need to start doing some deeper research.
And awareness, right? Because a lot of people, and I think the comment too, was like, well, after we have a full Black History Month, can we do? Because I think a lot of times people, we bring this up during Black History Month, but outside of Black History Month, then continuing those conversations. And so it's a good start, because it's something that people expect during Black History Month. But I think even beyond that, like, how do we, like you said, doing additional research, how do we continue those conversations and I guess prompt people with this awareness to want to do more research. A lot of times when I've seen panels like this, you'll see people who either were ignorant or something sparks them at the panel and like, oh wow, I really do want to go do more research on this or see things. Of course, you might have people who are just like, I'll do whatever. But there will be some people, I think, that it might spark something where they want to do their own research.
I know I was looking for some individuals that paved the way, made history in Arkansas, so I found a website. Hopefully I can find it before the show's over. But there were just a multitude of names, and looking at their bios, it was just really amazing that these people either lived in Arkansas or from Arkansas. I mean, just think about how much more history is out there for every other state that we have no clue what's about. I mean, what's out there. You mentioned once before off air about, in schools we hear, of course, about Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks and some of the... But what else? Some of the other names, but there's so much more. Absolutely. And it's up to the educators to really help expand that lesson for the students. I want to give a shout out, though, to Nettleton School District. They do some wonderful projects. One of the teachers over there, I want to say she works with the East Lab. Don't quote me on that, but I'm going to get the information. But they do, I guess you say kind of their own version of a museum set up during Black History Month. They do some different things and presentations. So we have been invited out to them. So I'm going to get those dates and times and make sure to pass it on to you. Absolutely. As well. So I want to give a shout out to everyone that is watching our live stream. Please join the conversation, even though we're about to come to a close here in a moment. So as we get ready to close in about the next 2-3 minutes, please tell us again about the panel, where it's going to be, what time, and that information, so those that maybe join late can write that down.
Awesome. So yeah, we are having a panel on February 1st, on Thursday, next Thursday actually, 6 p.m. in the Mockingbird Room of the Ring Student Union on the A-State campus. And the topic of the panel is going to be why do we still celebrate Black History Month? And so we're hoping to have an engaging conversation, dialogue about that topic, because it came from a conversation. That is a question that often comes up when we start to celebrate Black History Month. There's always questions about why do we celebrate it. So let's have that open conversation about it so that people can be educated and leave with an awareness.
And once again, this event is open to the Jonesboro community. Anyone who wants to come, this is a free event. Quick before I go, because it's my first time here,
okay.
Give a couple of shout outs. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Shout out to one of my best friends, Trevor Ivy, Carl McLeod, Jalen, the brothers of Theta Upsilon chapter. These are some great men, and thank you once again. I got you guys. I got you. I read my phone. I read the phone.
Well, thank you for that. And we want to thank everyone that is tuning in to watch and you all and support you all. And I hope that everyone possible can show up to this event and take something away from it. I hope they come with an open mind, willing to learn, but also bring your questions and concerns. I mean, This is the place to have these discussions. Right. So for those of you who are shy, maybe write your question down, pass on to somebody else.
And we did have a student to come up with some questions. I asked the student, I was like, well, what are students asking that they may not ask in this panel? To write down some questions that they might ask, and again, might be a little more shy to answer, because I think a lot of times people come to the panels, they don't really want to ask the question, but they want it answered. And so to think about those, and so hopefully we'll have some of the students bring those up who've kind of thought about that. And for anyone who's interested in anything else we're having for Black History Month, just check out the A-State calendar. Online, you can go directly to the A-State website. We've entered all the information there. You can check out all the events that are happening for Black History Month.
All right, and then there are going to be some other panels going on February 6th at the Arkansas State University Museum, not the art museum, but the museum that's in the library. Right. They're going to be discussing the exhibit that's going on. Also February 20th, Dr. Gabriel Tate will be doing a discussion about midwives in Arkansas and concerning Black women. So you don't want to miss these different events. I'll make sure to keep them posted on our Kaylee K Instagram and Facebook pages. We thank you all so much for joining us.
No problem.
And I'll make sure to also keep a watch on the Facebook page. You can go to A-State Multicultural Center and find all the information, all the events that are coming up. And does the Office of Diversity have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do. It is Arkansas State University Office of Diversity on Facebook. You can also go to our website, astate.edu/diversity, and we'll be sure to connect you.
All right, so please check out those different formats. Go to the Arkansas astate.edu webpage. Look on the calendar. Mark on your calendar all the events that are going on. You don't want to miss it. I just want to give a shout out to Arkansas State for bringing these type of discussions to light, making these things possible for the students and the community and the staff, everyone to get involved in a much needed discussion. So I would love to hear feedback. If I'm not able to make it, I think the station manager will try to come and live stream. If I'm not able to make it, I'm looking forward to the discussion that's going to happen.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, we appreciate it.
So, other than the panel, what is something else immediate that is coming up?
Yeah.
We have the Strong Turner Alumni Soul Food Dinner that happens on February 9th. Very important. Happens yearly as we feed the Jonesboro community for free. That is free 99. That is.
Yes. And good food.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
All right,
it's good.
We have a Strong Turner Soul Food Dinner. Then we have a Living Legends Museum that we're also going to have, and that was an idea from one of the committee members, Brittany Dawson and Javon Long have been working on that, where they're going to have basically some of our students who are going to dress like prominent Black people in history. And there's going to be a living museum. We're down in our open court area where people can walk by and learn about these individuals. And then, of course, some other panels and things like that. Ayanna Gregory is coming, the daughter of Dick Gregory. We have another speaker, Mark Hayes, who's going to come and talk about fake news, wokeness, and the Black Lives Matter movement. So we'll have some good conversations going on during Black History Month.
Okay, so I might have to just come hang out on campus and read my books and everything and study on campus. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Allen and Mr. Chris. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. A program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
How can you be set free from bitterness in your marriage?